So this video will discuss populate and paint density for crowds. So let's use populate. So first select your agents and then select, and then enter, then select your geometry. And there we go. So right now I already had a crowd set up, so it created a duplicate. So maybe we don't want to do that. So Control Z. If we go back to our crowd source, you can see originally we have a crowd source and it's attached to this geometry, which is in this object merge. So all the agents are populated along this geometry, but maybe we want to use the torus instead. So we could just create another object merge and select our torus. And connect it. So it's no longer on this geometry, and actually it's not on the torus. So if we check, this object merge is using into this object merge is into specified object. We'll switch this to into this object, and there's our crowd. We could go down here and run the sim. So that's populate. We'll go back to our other geometry. And we'll put the crowd source back onto our other geometry. We can delete this. If we play this sim, you can see our crowd, but maybe we don't want the crowd to start maybe on over here on this side of the geometry. We want it more over here. So maybe we could set up cameras so you know how your shot will look. So you could see it's by all these red boxes. So for example, maybe over here we don't need this geometry. So you could do a few things. You could either use paint density, otherwise you could just blast this part of the geometry. So if we go to our geometry, which is outroad BGO, it's our geometry, and then all you have to do is you could select this arrow and hold left click, select lasso picking, select all the geo you don't want, and click delete, and that'll create a blast node which will remove that. So now there's no more agents there, no more geo, so it moved the geometry forward. So that's one method. Go back to our crowd source. So another option is using the paint density. So for example, we could click paint density, select crowd source object, click enter. So it gives us this error cannot paint on SOP with display flag. So we're going to go back, turn off our geometry, and go back to our crowd source, to our paint density node, and then we could start painting. So right now our brush is tiny, so you could hold Control Shift left mouse drag. So now our brush is a lot bigger. So for example, maybe we don't want it starting over here, we want it more over here with these boxes. So I could paint here, could paint here, 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 and maybe some crowds here. So that's what it looks like. Everything's blue, just right there is red. So then if we go back to our crowd source, there they are. So you could either delete parts of the geometry, or you could use paint density to paint where you want the crowd to start. And if you want to make adjustments, you could just go back to paint density and maybe apply to all if you want to completely flood the geometry. So right now it's red, so it's going to look back what it looked like before.